What happened?
So basically, if we rewind back to I'm trying to think of the year, but it was basically a Ben Weed and it was just after COVID, and I just moved up to women's bodybuilding, so it was my first show as a female bodybuilder, and um I'd been advised that I should go into that class. So, like, we had no audience. But anyway, long story short, I won the overall. I was super excited. I got rewards with the overall. Like, I was announced as the overall winner. And then they come on stage with the sword. And I was like, there was no pro card. And I was like, okay. But because there's not five of us on stage. So I was like, okay, I accept that. First overall, it is what it is. I was super excited to win the overall, but that was that. I then went on to compete at the Arnolds, and the same kind of thing happened. There was two girls on stage again. This disheartened me a little bit, and I was just like, "Do you know what? If I'm a female bodybuilder and there's no way to go with it, well, there's no point." So I kind of took a break. I took a break for about 2 years. I was still bodybuilding daily. I just wasn't competing, and then I just got that bug. By this time, I'm spending a lot of time in the States, about 6 months of the year, and I decided, okay, let's compete in the US. There might be more of us there. So, I mean, me being me, biggest show that we can possibly do, even after a 2 year break, I decided to do the Olympia. So it's on the Amateur Olympia. I told everyone there was not a chance of me even getting placed. I'd been out of the game for 2 years. I was just getting back into it, and I just wanted to compete on the Olympia stage. I wasn't bothered about being a pro or anything. Anyway, long story short, I won the overall at the Olympia, and I swear that, like, even winning at Romania when I got my pro card, I cannot, like, explain how exciting that day was. That was probably the most exciting day for me, was winning the 60th anniversary in Las Vegas. It was unbelievable, and I won both my classes. So I actually beat six female bodybuilders. So I technically should have got the pro card. Everyone was in uproar that I didn't. But I was like, I don't care, I won the overall, the Olympia. But that then gave everyone was like, but you should have got the pro card. So I was like, look, okay. I had the bug back for competing. So I was like, you know what? Let's just give it one more shot with a completely different show. So a few years back, when I'd won the first overall, Alina Poper had reached out to me and said, you should try my show. And that was looking at the shows, what were around. It was either going to be go back to Olympia or go to Romania. Now, Olympia didn't fit in with my schedule. It would have meant when I was prepping, I had other things that I needed to do. So we went with Romania, and everyone said to me, don't get me, everyone was saying the competition's going to be super hard. It's European. It's a different kind of, like, it's a different level. The female bodybuilders there are high standard, and I was like, okay. Like, don't, everyone was making me feel like I didn't have a chance. So anyway, off I goes to Romania, not expecting to even have a chance. But I was like, yeah, I'm going to give it a shot. Anyway, again, we get there, and don't get me wrong, the standard was probably, it was decent. But again, there was three of us. There was three female bodybuilders. So technically what I should have done was, even though I'm not physique, I should have gone into physique, because the standard of physique I probably would have still won, and I would have just got the pro card there and then. But I didn't know this at the time, and I just went off to the show and I done what I thought was right. But I competed in women's bodybuilding. Anyway, I after when we got to the point of, like, what is it, like the finals. So we done the prejudging in the morning. When we're going back for finals, you're getting a good idea that you've got a chance here, and you think, oh, hang on, this looks like it could go well. But I was thinking, but there isn't enough of us for a pro card. So I had a feeling that I know that you should, but I had a feeling I was going to win. But I was thinking, but I'm not going to get a pro card, and I've gone through all this again. So I was a little bit flat, I'd say, for the finals, more so than I was so excited at Olympia. But I was a little bit flat, because I was thinking, I'm never going to, unless they just change the rules on the last minute, which they didn't. I won the overall. They gave me my crown, they gave me my sash, took all my pictures, but I was flat, because I was like, I really thought, you just think, oh, well, I should have this. Now, by this point, you've got to remember, this is my third now overall. So technically, and there was never ever the same girls there. So technically, I've beat 10 or so female bodybuilders. So I come off stage and my coach says to me, "There's Alina, go and speak to her." So I was like, I don't want to. I was like, but anyway, I went to speak to her, and I was like, "Look, I did speak to her. You messaged me on Instagram couple of years ago, and you said about like you were, it was so unfortunate that I didn't get the pro card, and I said I just want to like mention to you that I feel as though I deserve it now." And she went, I am going to put, I remember you. I'm going to put your name forward. I sent the email off because I couldn't. If it had been awarded the pro cards, I'd have gone on for the pro show the next day. But obviously, I didn't get that day, so they kind of took that limelight off me, which was a bit annoying. But anyway, I went come home. I wrote a big, extensive email off to IFBB, to uh, not Jim Mannion, his son. So I write the email off, and I'm expecting a no sorry because this is what has happened after Olympia, and I waited weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, and I didn't hear nothing. Anyway, I goes off to Dubai on holiday, and I was like, why am I not hearing anything? So my friend Nathan Diasha, I messaged Nathan, and I was like, Nathan, have you got a different email for IFBB? And he was like, try this one. So I tried the other email, and I was in Dubai, and I'd messaged them. I just copy and pasted the same email. 24 hours later, I just couldn't believe it. I got the email through, and I was like, my god, oh my god, oh my god, they give me the pro card. I just stood still. I was just like, I'm an actual pro. So it was like the best, one of the best moments of my life, honestly. I mean, it sounds mad because it sounds a little bit like superficial, but like when you've worked hard all them years and then you just think, you write it off because you think, oh, it's never going to happen. And then when it's in front of you, I was just like, can't believe it. I just kept reading as I was going, can you read this and make sure this says what I think it says? So that was last November. That was last November.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. I really quite a couple ladies who won their pro cards at the Romania Muscle Fest. One lady, she won it in figure. One lady,
Yeah.
she won in women's physique.
Yeah.
And it's a good show. I mean, wish we can have
It's an
more bodies.
amazing show. It's an
Yeah,
amazing show.
yeah. We should have
Yeah,
more
I
bodies to come, because I know last year when we body, I think it was like maybe 6 or 7. And I mean, the person you mentioned that you turned in was, I think it's not Jim's main son; it's his grandson Tyler.
it's
He's
Tyler,
yeah,
that's
he
it.
yeah
That's it.
he's the one over the IFB stuff.
Yeah.
And I
Well,
know
he denied me at the year before because I'd done the whole email thing after the Olympiad, and he said sorry. I was
yeah,
like, okay.
but that was a good thing that Alina stepped up, because
Yeah.
knowing that this is what division where she got her start in,
Yeah.
and really doing, because I remember I got to meet her when I went to Savannah back in 2022. She's a lovely lady.
She's
She was
lovely.
training a friend of mine that was one of her clients, and her and people like Linda Murray and some of the other ladies are still trying to give it a fight for the women's bodybuilding division.
See, my argument is like how like there's not a lot of female bodybuilders, right? How are we going to continue with this class if they don't let us move forward and they don't make us pros because there isn't enough of us on stage? How are we ever supposed to move forward? That was my argument. I was like it's gonna die because when it's I've been all over the world, Vegas, the UK, Romania, and every single stage never quite had enough girls on it. You know, at the end of the day, it's a class that is, unless you genetically fall into that class, which I'm going to be honest, I just did fall into it. I didn't go, oh, I want to be a female bodybuilder. I just fell into that class from years of training. But if you actually want to try and get to that class, but your genetics don't allow that, it's super hard. And especially unless then you start throwing a hell of a lot of resistance in, which I'm not being funny. I don't agree that a female should have to do and risk her health just to fall into a class. You know what I mean? Obviously, there's assistant use, but there's a safer way of doing it. And if you've got to try and get into a class by using extensive amounts of assistance, which are going to jeopardize your health, then it's not right. I mean, that was the one of the reasons why they stopped female bodybuilding years back because the people were abusing the assistants. So that was just like until when I didn't have the pro card, that was my argument. I was like, well, where do we go with it? I was at the point of saying, well, okay, I love competing and I love being an athlete, but I just don't know where I'm going to go with next with it. If they didn't give me the pro cards, I was certainly wasn't going to go and do another amateur show because I just didn't see the point. I just didn't see
Yeah.
the point.
Yeah, it can be disheartening because one problem is that is when women y'all don't get the same equal opportunities as men. They
Yeah,
all like the guys can push and get big. If you look at guys like Big Romney, you look at guys like Nick Walker,
yeah,
those level of bodybuilding. Look at one guy that got to me once in Tampa was Derek Lumford. That was right before he won the title. Guys like Sampson, your fellow UK
yeah,
bodybuilder. Men getting more leeway when compared to
yeah.
women. And now, you got the new division. Excuse me. Every time I talk about it, I got to do this. It just offends me. I say, fit model. I mean, I have nothing against the competitors. I
I
feel like
know.
this: when you start a division, try to spin off of another division, it's going to evolve. Look at women's physique right now; it has evolved. There's women right now who are physique competitors who sitting 200 pounds off season.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah. Oh, we got here some comments here. Shout out to my man here, Bodybuilding Fan 101. He says, hi, George and Lisa. Hi, dear. My brother here, KL the Wonder, he says, Lisa, when you're going to stop by NYC?
Well, it was supposed to be next week, but unfortunately, TSA don't want that to happen.
Yeah, because right now we're under a slight little one of the
Yeah,
little our shutdowns again, because
yeah,
we're
yeah.
under I'm not gonna get too much detail it. Shout out to our man Lawrence Perkins coming through. Shout out to Lawrence. He says this, he says, good morning, beautiful Miss Lisa Elizabeth, George, and bodybuilding fan on one. Appreciate that, brother. Also, my man, Brad says, good morning, everyone. And yes, when are you coming to New York? Whereas, like you said, she will make it. We got here also here. This is from my man Emerald. Has seen me in a long time. Hey, Miss Smith, nice to meet you. Big fan of yours. And also, this is from my man Lawrence. This is going to be one more. He says this. It says, Miss Lisa, every day you're always a winner. Every day you walk uh, the face of this planet. Today, we're made to bring life on the earth. Today, continue to lead by example by breaking um, barriers. Oh, he has a lot
Thank
to
you.
say. I'll tell you right now, Lisa. Hey,
That was a
but
mouthful.
yeah, I'll tell you, Lisa. When they say they knew that you was coming, it's like this. It's like the episode of Chappelle Show when Charlie Murphy meets Prince and singing with Nikki Free. And he's like, this girl. Nikki Free was a chick, but he's actually a dude. You never heard Nikki Free. And say, hey, yo, Prince got a new girl. She found a motherfucker. That's how they feel like when I get ladies like you. So, okay, now you got your pro card, and I know, and also your daughters. How they're doing.
They're doing great. They're doing great. Yeah, they're all grown up now. They're all grown up, married, and they're off in different countries and like all over the world. So it's great to see them when they get home. Um, they both got little boys,
Oh,
so I'm a nan.
your grandma. That's
Meow,
sweet.
meow.
Yes,
Yeah, probably the
sweet.
most unconventional grandma.
There's like I said, there's quite a few ladies you know, who I've interviewed that are like yourself, who are grandmothers, got kids.
Yeah,
It's just don't people don't think that women like yourself can have that because you had it before you started because we talked about before you got into bodybuilding.
yeah. What'd you say? Sorry.
What we say?
What
You
did you
still hear
ask
me?
me? Yeah, I
Like
can hear
no,
you.
I was talking. I was talking. Yeah,
Oh,
I can
sorry, 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 sorry.
yeah, but what were their feelings when they felt like their mom was now IB pro?
Well, they were so when I very first announced I was going to compete, they were a lot younger, and they were at that age where they were like to them it was mum, and mum was going to do this crazy bodybuilding and get on stage. Even though I always trained, we all went to gym together, but they were like, "You're not going to get on stage." It lasted a few days, and then they were like, "Oh, okay, then we could around it." And they were my biggest supporters, like through preps and through shows. They came to every show, and they've always supported me. And it's like even when I won the very first overall, and they were that, and I got the sword and everything, it was like wow, like it was amazing. And they've always said to me, just please keep going for the pro cards. And I've said for so long, it's done, it's not going to happen. And like, honestly, like it's so humbling when when I called them to say, guess what? and they were literally over the moon, like literally couldn't. They were just so happy for me, and it's such a nice feeling, like because it's like that makes you more happy that your kids are happy for you. And then their first thing was, "Oh, you're gonna do a pro show?" Because I always said, right, I always said that if I got the pro card, I was never going to do a pro show, because I did say that I didn't want to be, I didn't want to be in my head the pros were so huge, and I was in, and because I'm female bodybuilding, it's like I don't want to look like that, so I could never really get on a stage with them. Now, since speaking to my coach and looking at past competitors, it's not the case always. It's not always the case. So I've it was only, I didn't even hesitate. It wasn't even like the day as soon as I got the pro card, I went, right, when am I doing my pro debut? So they was like, they're super happy about that, because they said, no, you should at least do a pro show. So
Yeah.
yeah, here I am, like in off season, ready to start a prep in July for me pro show.
Well, like I said, you're a woman of a much mature age. There's like Masters is really getting popular. I think there's a couple of Master shows overseas. Like I think there's one in Portugal. You can go back to Women's Physique. You can do one there. There's opportunities, and like again,
Yeah,
is it's not about I would say don't compare yourself to somebody else because everybody's going to be different. If you look at the level of women now, if you look at the how it has grow over time,
yeah,
the bodybuilding, and especially as women, work with what you got. And you know what? If you want to go on the stage and bring your presentation, good. You never know. You might do pretty well. You might even win. Like, next year's going to be the Masters Olympia for 2027. We have here
yeah,
a shot to my man Lawrence. He says this. Shout to Lawrence. He says, family is the best. Everything you do is for your daughters and family. That's nice.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. So you mentioned your coach. Who's your coach and how long have you been
So
with
my
him?
coach is you and Roger. Now listen, I am not just blowing smoke up his right. He is amazing. Like he is literally, he's a magician. I have never seen it. Like I have never watched a body change in 24 hours the way mine does from the day before the show to the on the show day. He is literally, and you know what? He literally he came to Romania. I was his only competitor, and he flew to Romania with me. What coach does that? He flew to Romania from the UK. He comes for the whole time. He was there every step of the way. He was backstage. He's an unreal coach, and I have never. My physique is the best it's ever been with him. I've been with him for 4 years, and I didn't actually go to him to compete. I went to him because I just wanted to be accountable, because I was still bodybuilding, but I just wasn't competing, and I just needed. You know what I needed? Someone to say to me, okay, you don't need to be extreme dieting all the time. You need to give your body a break. You need to let it balance. And I needed to be accountable in that way. So I went to him and then I announced, I said to him, it was after a couple of years, I went, I think I'm going to get back on stage. He was like, yes. So he coached me for Olympia. And I thought it looked amazing. When he showed me my transformation from Olympia to Romania, it blew me away. I didn't even see that happen. I did not see it happen. Like it was, I just looked at it. That's not me. And it was like I gained quite a lot of tissue. And listen, and I'm just going to put it out there with minimal assistance, minimal assistance. I didn't abuse at all. Health is key with him. Like health is everything, and that's another thing. Like right now, I'm in an off season. So like I'm completely like unassisted. I've got bloods on Wednesday, and this is how he works. So like health comes first. There's no risks taken. But in saying that, I have never seen anyone do what he does. He is amazing. And it was him that said what you've just said. I said about getting on stage as a pro, and I was like, oh look, I don't think I'm like, I can do that. And he went, don't compare to other people. You're not being judged. Like, yeah, obviously get on stage to compete against people, but they will be judging your physique, and it doesn't matter. You might not. I mean, the very first overall I won, which says it all, really. The girl was twice my size. She was twice my size, and we're going way back now. Way back, like I was not didn't have the physique that I've got now. Which I always think, oh, they're huge, they're massive. She was huge, she was massive, but I still won. So it doesn't necessarily mean that, like, because you're the smallest bodybuilder. I mean, to be honest with you, at Olympia, I was the smallest bodybuilder. They were all bigger than me. They were huge, and I beat six of them. I actually won the Open and the Masters. I have a thing that like I don't like to compete in Masters. if I'm gonna win, I'm gonna win in the open. I don't agree with this. Oh, because you should be in this because you're this age. I think if your physique is like at the optimized to its as much as it can be, it doesn't only. I've always just competed in open. There was only the Olympia, and because it was the Olympia, I thought rather than not win anything, at least if I win Masters, I've won something. But then obviously I won both, so it was like that's been my thing. I don't usually do Masters. I usually just do open. But there was
Yeah.
no Masters at Romania. There was no master. There was no Masters, and I'm going to do Romania again. Romania is going to be my pro show in November.
Well, great. That's the news, folks. The news is broken that Lisa Smith is going to Romania in 2026. That's where she
Yeah,
got a pro card.
yeah,
Also, if I look at it like this, there's plenty of ladies who also of your age who do both open and masters, or just do open. I know one lady I interviewed. She's like 58 years old. Robin
yeah,
Mays. Yeah, she won her first Olympia in Toronto last year. It still looks amazing. She does both. I've seen
yeah,
ladies like Patty Corbett, who's like
yeah.
touching her 70s, is still
It's
competing, even doing.
crazy, right?
Uh, I think it's about figure out the smart things to do and the longevity of yourself as an athlete.
Yeah,
We have your comment. Shout to my man Manuel says, question for Mrs. Smith: will women with muscle ever become a standard of beauty in today's modern and contemporary society? In your honest opinion, or do you think that it's already there?
okay. This is interesting. This because I obviously got quite a big social media presence, and I like just recently following on from becoming a pro, I decided to return to coaching. It's something I love doing. It's something I'm passionate about, and I love helping people get in the best shape of their life. That's what I love doing. So I decided to go back. So I did have to slightly alter the image on social media because obviously, you know, I've like I had the image of I was just doing loads of photo shoots and loads of you know muscle. I was working for like the likes of all films and stuff like doing all the muscle shoots. So I've pulled back from that and I was transforming the Instagram into like back into what it used to be. I was always a coach. That's what I done. But I just pulled away and I was over in America for the last 5 years. So I'm transitioning into it and it's going pretty good and I'm getting I my audience was like not completely changing because obviously what I had to do is I'd put a post out and I'd still get all the muscle fans coming on with their silly comments, which you know what, I appreciate them. I appreciate my fans. That's why you're who you are. But like sometimes and the comments aren't always bad, but I was trying to transition to be taken seriously. So I was like, okay, I've just got to keep at it. Anyway, I eventually get the one of the posts. I think it was also a week ago, just over a week ago. A post to it got pushed out by Instagram, the way it does sometimes, and it got like quite a high. It got like loads of views and stuff, like a lot more than any of the past ones I've been doing. But then when I looked at the insights, it was like okay, 88% of new non-followers, which is perfect, right? But we got like the haters were unbelievable. So I was like, please, I'll keep my fans because they were saying like, oh, she's a man. Oh, that's disgusting. What is that? Why do you sound like that? You've ruined yourself. What's the gum shield? These are my teeth. I was like, so they were. Oh, listen. I'm thick skinned. I'm thick skinned. You can't bother me. But it's really bad that that's what society's like. Like society, because we are different and we choose. And listen, we don't choose to look like this to be attractive to men. We if we're attractive to men, that's just because it is. That's because men like this. But like we do this because we do it as athletes. It's a sport, and to be slated and hated for it, it's just unbelievable. And you know what's funny? I love to always click on the profile of these people to have a look what they look like. And I have not really. I think I've done it once, but a lot of the girls do. A lot of the girls screenshot them and shame them because
Well,
a lot of the time they're just like they're just like these like I don't know, whatever
Boobs.
they are, sitting at home on like looking through Instagram. Oh, let's hate on her. She looks different, you know. So yeah, that it's interesting because yeah, like I know a lot of like for example, people who are in this sort of world and will openly say, "Oh, they love female muscle. Female looks amazing. We really appreciate the work, the effort they put in." But the people who are not in that world just don't see it like that. They see it as like weird and like different and freakish.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I know. I interviewed a lady. I don't know her name is Christina Parks. Goes by Tina Track Queen,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah, yeah. She gets it as well.
she
Yeah,
she posts this that often. And the thing is, she's like yourself. She's a beautiful woman. She's also a mother. She has 3 kids,
yeah.
and just the thing is, I say like this to guys who have that issue, like guys like myself, we're fans, you ladies. Like my other half would say, because we think you are beautiful. But like I said, I can understand what they see is may not be what they like. But here's the thing like this. If you don't like something, here's the best advice to you. Shut the fuck up. Mind your business. Go on.
Like,
It's
don't follow me. Don't comment on my post. I don't ask you to watch it, right?
see the thing
Like,
is
yeah.
they put a lot of energy in hating. Here's the thing like this. You know what? I say God bless the haters. You know what? You hate so much. I care so little. I can use your hate is my energy, it's my fuel.
So
Because you know
this
what?
was the thing. I was struggling because I'd become Lisa the coach rather than Lisa the bodybuilder, and I was doing all this quite serious educational posts. They weren't getting that much reach because obviously people are not used to seeing more entertaining posts. But this one, because the haters came in, it got pushed out by Instagram, and I think I was on all I was. It was on about 20K last time I looked. Last time I checked it, with like thousands of comments and hundreds of likes. And it's just like, but you've done me a favor. Like, so you're trying to hate on me, but you're actually doing me a favor. But it's just, fortunate enough, I think most of us are quite thick-skinned because we expect it. In fact, it's almost like you kind of to look like this. We walk down the street and get attention. Like it doesn't matter where we go. I go to the airport, I get attention. I walk in the street, I go anywhere. We're at the gym, I get attention. It's been going on since day dot when I started bodybuilding. So it's not something they think they're really bothering us, but they're actually not. They're actually not bothering us at all. Which it's like it's annoying just to think that they think they're bothering us. That's the only part that's annoying. But yeah, it just I always think of the amount of effort they put in to watch our reel, comment on it, and then comment back with the other people that are commenting. I thought, well, you've put more effort into me today than I've put into you. So
Yeah. That's what I mean. That's where you waste your time. So, folks, we're gonna do this while we have Lisa here. We're gonna jump into her social media for a little bit. If you want to follow her link's in the description of this live. If you're interested in working with her as a coach, I know she does online coaching too, or reach out if
yeah,
you have
so
any interest.
anywhere in the world.
Yeah, but guys, you know my rules. No weird stuff. No nothing. She got kids. She got grandbabies. Stop it. Get some help. If you hate on her, his thing is, if you spend your time hating on somebody, that doesn't mean nothing to us. You know what? We're gonna keep on living. So we're gonna
That's
jump
the
on.
thing.
So we're gonna jump in here, and here's the picture from Romania. What was that feeling at that show for yourself?
Oh, like I said, it was, you know what? I love the stage. I love the stage. I really do. I literally love the stage. I'm such a show off. So that's the highlight of my day of getting on stage and doing my routine. I'm already planning Romania's routine now for the pro debut because that needs to be like super special because I think I mean with regards to posing when I go back to way back to my first show I look back and I think oh my god I've come on so much because I always remember the first show and looking back and it's a bit I mean I was still show off but my posing was awful.
Well, to me, you look really good here. This is some great posing. Do you have a
Yeah,
posing coach, or do your coach does your
I
posing
have a
too?
posing coach. She's called Amy Hope. She's here in the UK. She's also really good. Um, I tell you about whose routines I love. She calls herself the real Lois Lane on Instagram. I don't know if you ever interviewed her,
Oh,
but
oh,
I love her routines. They're so dancey.
yeah, Rachel
Yeah, I
Daniels.
think.
I
I
actually got
think.
to meet her. I actually got to meet her when I was at Tampa. She was there because
Oh,
one of my classes
really?
competing.
Here,
Yeah,
so she is my inspiration for a routine. She is
yeah.
my inspiration for any routine because she's got like a dance background, um, and she's so like a routine, so dance, but obviously still bodybuilder. Um, so yeah, it's a that's the kind of routine I like, but that's my favorite part of my routine. I hate the mandatories when they make you quarter term for like as long as you can feel like it's forever, and you can't breathe for like 20 minutes.
I remember I was talking to some ladies. They did a show a while back that they had them on stage for about 10 minutes doing turns and stuff like
Yeah,
that. It was
they'll
killer. I
so
think it was.
they'll turn you, and then sometimes they'll think they want to look again. So they might move you. They might move you so that like that was the thing at the Olympia. So I went on for the first class and they called me to centre. And then I went on for the next class and they called me to centre. And I got off the stage and I called my coach. So that's you'll see the coach then. I got off stage and I called him and he went, "Did you get called to centre?" And I said both times he was going, "Get in." So
Well,
yeah,
here's your coach as he's talking about you, and here you over
yeah.
here.
This is
Two
that
Bros
the
MK Classic
regional.
regional show today here at the Edge in Wigan. I've got Lisa, female bodybuilder, Ruby Muscle. We've got a pro qualifier scheduled for later on in the year, so this is just a warm-up show just to get the qualification to be able to travel later on in the year. Now, realistically, Lisa should be a pro. She has won 2 overalls at pro qualifiers before, last year at the Amateur Olympia in Vegas. Unfortunately, she was denied a pro card, which I will talk about at a later date. So we're just repeating the process this year, and hopefully, third time lucky, that she will get that pro card that she should be already having. So MK Classic today, Lisa's bringing a good look, really happy with how the prep's gone so far. This is Lisa probably at about 70% just because we are going again later on in the year. So good luck, really happy with the look, really happy with the process. So really ready for a good show today. So let's get it.
I remember when we went in. Well, you look very impressive. I know he's proud of you. Really you have improved the last couple of years since we last talked. Because I know,
Yeah,
you
it's
took the.
crazy because you don't feel it happening, you don't see it happening, and it was like I said, Olympia. I thought it looked great, right? But when you see the Olympia, the transformation from Olympia to Romania, it's literally crazy. It looks like a different physique. My whole physique is it's a different physique, which is insane. Because I didn't honestly see it happening. I wasn't thinking, like, when I was training, I wasn't thinking, well, this is what I'm trying to get to. I didn't. I just rolled with it. And then the next thing, I I looked, he showed me on the day of the show, and he was like, I was like, wow, no way, it's insane. So
Yeah,
yeah.
well, he's very proud of you because
Show, and that is regionals and open pro qualifiers. So congratulations from me.
Let's go in Romania.
So
that's one of the grandbabies.
Yeah, they're the kids and the babies and well, it's funny because this regional was actually 20 minutes from my house, so the family were able to come, which was crazy because obviously, um, normally you found I'm miles away, so no one gets to be there. But this was amazing because like even though it was just a regional, it was nice to have my mum had never seen me on stage, and my mum seen me on stage, which was good. That was great.
I know your mom was proud of you because we work hard. As I've never been a parent, and you know what, I have nieces and nephews. And I'm proud of when they do something. You want to see your children to succeed in whatever they're getting involved in. Also, as you know, she says she's a coach, and she gives some coaching advice. As again, if you're interested in reaching out to her, so here she is, gives some coaching advice.
Guys, I'm here today to basically make an announcement. Some of you may have already guessed, judging by my Instagram, there's been a bit of a change. But I wanted to come on personally and just basically announce that I am going to be returning back to coaching. Now, I've spent over 25 plus years basically working one-to-one on the gym floor as a personal trainer. And then I got into bodybuilding. And I've been a competitive bodybuilder now for the last 5 to 6 years. I've won every show that I've ever done, except the lowest I've ever placed has been second. And just not long ago, I turned IFBB Pro, which I was super excited about. But what I wanted to do now is return back to coaching, to online coaching this time, because obviously, the industry has moved forward. Most things are online. And I want to share with you what I've learned over the past 5 to 6 years.
in the fitness industry. My knowledge and education has become a lot faster than it ever was. I'm proud to say that I always got great results with clients. I always built up a great relationship with clients, and they always had amazing results. Unfortunately, like such an idiot, as he leases a lot of my transformations, I haven't gone out of the industry, not expecting to return, but I'm super excited to return. So basically, I just wanted to make the announcement. You'll be seeing a lot more information about this, and moving forward, how you can speak to me, how you can discuss what your goals are. I'm not saying that I'm gonna just be focusing on competition prep. I'm not. I want to be focusing on people who want to take their fitness to the next level, people who want to be serious about their training, people who want to get educated about how to diet, how to train, people who want to make it work for them and fit it into their lifestyle. Because let's face it, not everybody has got the time to commit as a bodybuilder, but people also want to try and get some serious results, and that's what I'm about. It's about optimizing your physique and educating you on your diet and how you train and how you effectively fit it into your lifestyle. So anyway, I'm not going to natter on it anymore. I'm going to just get this out there, and then I'm going to give you loads more information as we progress through the weeks. But I look forward to anyone that is looking to work with me. Just drop me a DM ready, and I can send you some info.
Well, that's really great. I mean, you get a new direction going to.
Yeah.
And now,
do you know what it was? I've travelled so much over the past 5 years, and I loved it. I've seen so much of the world, and I've seen so many places, but it was starting to feel like I just wasn't settled. I just wasn't settled anywhere, and I just started to enjoy being home. And I was like, I just feel like I need to just spend some time at home. I'm not saying I'm going to travel. I'm not going to travel. I'm just not going to spend 6 months of the year in Las Vegas. But like I said, I just felt like I was just constantly on the move, constantly on a flight, and I just needed some time to sit with it. And like I said, 5 years of never stopping traveling it was amazing. I am so grateful for the last 5 years, but it was time to just sit for a bit. It was just time to sit, especially having the pro debut coming up, because it's hard. It's, to be honest with you, I am so accustomed to traveling and prepping that it doesn't feel hard. But essentially, if when you do it, when you are based in one place, it is easier. So for the likes of Olympia, I stayed in Vegas for 3 months before. I stayed there because I didn't want to be moving around. But for Romania, I stayed in the UK and I just flew out to Romania. So that's obviously what I'm going to do again. So yeah, that is then essentially why I'm going back to coaching. And as well, it was something that I absolutely loved to do, and it was my passion was just was coaching people, watching people's physiques transform. I actually, moving on from that video, I actually found all my transformations. So even though I thought I'd lost them, then I went back on my story archive and I found them all. And even I was like, oh my god, I remember getting here, and that a lot of my clients never ever thought about going on stage, but then after being with me for a year, came to me and were like, I'd like to get on stage. So I had a few clients who actually went from a normal, shall we say, average girl in the street to being on stage. One particular girl, she competed in figure. Now, if she hadn't have stopped, she'd have definitely gone on to be a pro. She definitely would. She was amazing. So that's what I love to see. I just love to look at someone's physique and go, this is what she was like, and this is what they're like now. And watch the confidence grow. The confidence is just, it's like they changed completely. This girl was so introverted. She used to say to me, I'm not getting on no stage. I'd never do that. I'm so scared. Oh, I know I'm starting to look up, but I don't want to get on stage. And I was like, okay. And then she come to me one day and she was like, do you think I could do that? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. And then she used to thank me, and she used to go, I really I owe you so much. And I was like, no, you don't. You've done it yourself. You've done it all by yourself. I just showed you how to get in shape, and gave you the confidence to say, well, look, all I helped her with was how to not be nervous on stage. That was it. But she just she used to always say it, like I said, it's lovely when someone says that to you, I'll always appreciate what you've done for me. I'm like, I just done my job, So yeah, that's why I love it so much. I just love coaching.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
you
just
transform your life, and she enjoyed the opportunity. Yeah, it can be a lot for anybody who don't understand the aesthetics of bodybuilding. The stage performance, coming in condition, coming in shape. We have here a shout to my man here, Jeremy Remo, coming through. It says, "How have you had your pro debut yet? I'm not. What says I'm not. If not, what show are you looking for as a pro debut?" What she said earlier. She's going to be doing her pro debut at the Romania Muscle Fest in Romania, which
yeah.
is Alina Popa show. Shout to Alina Popa. I'm a fan of hers. Also, this is my man, the art of female bodybuilding. He is also does content and also interviews ladies in sport of bodybuilding. Have you had your pro debut yet? I have not. Oh, this is he just. I forget. It's the same two guys. He
Same
has the same,
question.
yeah, they got the same kind of
All
but
right, okay.
yeah, but we
Yeah,
already like I said, he always confirmed she's going to do Romania, and
yeah.
that's in this year. So I'm gonna ask you, especially this question I ask you, being a fat man, I can't help myself ask this question. What was that? What did you have after that show? Because after that long, tiresome, that was the doing the
After the
show,
show.
and yeah, what was
So I'm
that final
such.
meal?
Do you know what? I am right. So over the years, after every show, I've made the mistakes of coming off stage and just having things ready in the bag and just eating everything and making myself sick. I don't do that anymore. I come off stage, I don't really eat anything, and then I go, right, okay, I'm gonna stay calm. And you know what I have? But only because it never lets me down. I go for a burger and fries. It's like the only thing. I've tried having other stuff, and it just doesn't quite kick it. But I'll usually go for a burger, and I'll usually want something sweet. But again, over the time of like years and years of competing in multiple shows, you learn that by stuffing a load of cookies and cake and it, it just makes you feel terrible. So what I'll usually do is I'll really be like try to be controlled. So I'll have the burger and I'll just sit and chill. And then I'll usually like this after Romania, I had ice cream. Now I'm not a big ice cream fan, but I was in the store and I found this tub of ice cream and I can't remember the flavour, but whatever it was, it just looked gorgeous. But as soon as I got the taste for it, I went through the entire tub of ice cream. Like I ate the whole tub. And I did actually feel sick. But that's but so yeah, it's crazy because post show is something that like yeah we, we look forward to that post show meal. But what you learn over the years is if you really sort of if you just literally gorge on stuff, you feel terrible. Like I've felt terrible after a show. You feel terrible. All of a sudden, all that hard work and at the end of the day, you're only ever going to be stage ready for 24 hours. But still, you want to at least look in the mirror the next day and think, oh, I'm still okay. Right? If you gorge on a load of sugar, you blow up like a big balloon because you dehydrated and you just fill full of this film of like water, and you just look in the mirror and go, I've done all after this. Um, so after Romania on the Sunday, we there's something called the thermal spa. So instead of like sort of gorging on food for a whole day, we went off to like a thermal spa and that was gorgeous. And it was like it's freezing cold in Romania, but this was like hot outdoor pools and things and like saunas and it's amazing. So about the only nice thing in Romania.
Yeah, I remember.
But yeah,
I may have been in a sauna a couple of times. You feel like inside of a stew in a hot pot. But yeah, it's typical for a lot of ladies after the show because you know what, you've been on a long prep of your diet, and you want something out of this out of the usual. Not you get tired of chicken and broccoli and dried chicken, asparagus and rice.
yeah,
You want something with a little sugar, a little salt, a little grease in it. But
yeah.
I know some ladies they try to control. They say, you know what? Nah, I don't need it that bad. I can have it later. I mean, one lady I interviewed earlier this week. She said after her show, she and her husband just sit and watch television. That's what they did. We got here a comment from my man Bodybuilding Fan 101. He says, being from the UK, I don't know exactly where in the UK you are. How many times in the conversation does your name gets confused with Lisa Cross? Because both
Oh
of
yeah.
you guys, because I know Lisa because I've seen some,
She's my friend, yeah. Yeah,
yeah, you
Lisa's my
work
friend.
together. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
it's she's I know
But
if you,
she's so we're about 6 hours away from each other. She's like right down the south of the country, and I'm up north. Hence the accent, which actually it's crazy because she actually has a northern accent as well. Now she has like a Manchester accent, and I have a Liverpool accent, but she lives down south now.
yeah,
Well,
because
yeah,
like Ozzy Osbourne, remember he was from Liverpool, R.P. to the Dark Prince, you know, and that's the working class area of Great Britain. Yeah,
yeah,
and there's quite a few. I think I think women from the UK, especially bodybuilders in period from the UK, it's been growing. Like, is it this weekend's the Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic. Going in there is the champion and win figure that fitness champion, Messiah Faceta Messiah. Also, you have people like Rhea Gale. She lives in the States now.
oh, Rhea Gale's amazing.
Yeah.
She's amazing. She
Ramona.
was my old posing coach.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Ramona Scott interviewed her. I just interviewed a lady. Her name is Laura Morley. And she works with Amanda Winston. And I think it's been blowing up. People like Lisa and yourself. I just saw Winnie McCready just put out a new book about her career as a bodybuilder.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is. It's such an there's so many pros and cons, and like there's so much stuff you can talk about as a bodybuilder. Especially so with my coaching now, I'm trying to educate people on people who are considering about getting of like the reality that also the realities that people think are reality that are not. So the things that people think we do that we don't do as well. But yeah, it's so intricate that it's it's probably any to the average person who doesn't know nothing about it, they think, oh my god, is that what you do every day? Like, because we have set food. I eat the same food every day, apart from once a week. I have an off plan. That's so weird to some people. And training, like trainers, it's non-negotiable. Like, I go to the gym every morning, and people are like, oh, okay. But then they also think we have no life. I still have holidays. I'm in off season now. Most Saturday, I have an off plan on a Saturday. Most Saturday afternoon, evening, I will go and do something social. So, tomorrow is a friend's birthday. We're all going somewhere. I think whatever. I think we've got some rugby game we're going to go watch, and then some food afterwards and drinks. So there's so much things that people think we don't do, but then there's also things that people can't believe that we actually do as well. Um, and especially around the likes of the shows where you're saying about post show. My very first post show, wow, I didn't even know what had hit me. I was just like, what happened there? I'd been in shape so good. I just got after the show, cookies and sweets and cakes, everything. I ate everything. And I just blew up like a balloon. And I was like, I've done all that work for all them months to now be out of shape again in 24 hours. So that's the thing. It's like there's so much to talk about with bodybuilding. There's so much, so many questions you can ask, so many answers we can give, and that's why I try to be as the coach and now be so honest with it. Just let people. And this is the thing people think to have a shall we say exceptional physique that they have to do these extremes. Yeah, we do extremes, but only for stage, just for stage. If you get the average person who just wants to be in an amazing shape, they don't have to do the extremes we do. You know, you can still get in amazing shape just by, you know, incorporating things into your everyday lifestyle and your habits to optimize your physique. That they think that everyone thinks they've got to do what we do to get on stage to look like that, but it doesn't work like that. Like I said, for 2 years I didn't actually compete, but I still wanted to be in that kind of shape. So I still had what essentially was an off season and a diet under the eyes of my coach. And so what I'd do is I'd come home from the US, and I was off season, basically off season. But then when I'd go back and I'd have photo shoots to turn up for, I would diet for the photo shoots. Now that would be kind of similar to what the average person of the public would do that didn't want to step on stage. So yeah, there's so much you can talk about with it. So much misunderstood things about bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Um, You know, people just think, oh, we do this. Everyone just thinks we do this, we do that, we do silly, like, extreme stuff. Yeah, it's an extreme sport, but usually only the extreme sport part of it usually covers about the last 8 weeks of your prep. Everything else is just a lifestyle. You know, it's just a
Yeah.
lifestyle.